by Opus Music Academy, bringing teachers and students together to create music history together. Therapy OPS, offering occupational, physical, and speech therapies, empowering families for success. Croix Exteriors, offering home improvement services for your roof, windows, siding, and gutters. Let our experience guide you.
Hello everyone and welcome to Town Square Television's Game of the Week here from St. Croix Lutheran Academy in West St. Paul, Minnesota, as we get set for a matchup here between the St. Croix Lutheran and the Holy Angel Stars. I'm Owen Ely here with my broadcast partner for the night, Jesse Stanga. Jesse, how's it going?
Good to be here, Owen. We got a matchup tonight against two teams that look pretty even on paper, and it'll be exciting to see this team after we got to see the Crusaders against Richfield a couple weeks ago. They kept that game pretty close against Richfield and kind of were giving them fits and frustrations on it before Richfield was finally able to win. They did win by 11. The Stars have actually played Richfield too. It was a little bit more of a blow in that game. They lost by 20 points, but like I said, close matchup on paper, and St. Croix, they got a little bit of a winning streak coming in this game. Stars on a bit of a slide. Was it 5 games in a row that they've lost?
Yep, 5 games in a row there. We take a look at the Tri-Metro Conference standings. There you can see St. Croix Lutheran Academy right in the middle, Holy Angels right at the bottom, but still plenty of season left to be played here. And I think we should be in for a good one despite the record not being so hot for the Stars and a 500 record for the Crusaders. I mean, like you were saying, that game against Richfield was a lot closer than the score indicated, kind of, you know, ballooned towards the end, but you know, there was a lot to like in that game. They played really good stretches of defense in the first half, and you know, their 3-point shooting in the second half was absolutely lights out. As it looks like we'll take a break here to do the national anthem. So a great rendition there of the national anthem as we're just moments away here from tip-off.
And like we were talking about on paper, these two teams match up very favorable against each other. Their for and against is, you know, just between a couple points on them. Probably giving the nod to St. Croix Lutheran's defense, especially if they can play like they did against Richfield. The Holy Angels are going to have a tough time. Story of the night is going to be the fouls. St. Croix plays a very short bench, and we were barely able to see Andy Rash last time. He's got some good height on this team. I'd like to see what he can do with a little bit more playing time.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody fouled out in that game. I think everybody had like 4 or 5. They were really close, but nobody actually did it.
Yeah, I can't remember for certain, but yeah, probably should have been about 5 people that fouled out, but.
And there's Andy Hannon, the Stars head coach. Looking to correct this 5-game losing skid, and there's Coach Drew Cook for the Crusaders. Looking to extend the winning streak to 3 as both teams will take the benches and take the court. We'll have Jovanovic and Bryce Boyd battling here for the opening tip-off. And we are underway here as the Angels momentarily take possession.
Yeah, both of them mistimed their jump.
And so they'll do it right there as the Stars win the opening tip-off. See how well this Crusaders defense starts off the game, if it's anything like the Richfield game. A lot of movement here for Holy Angels. Driving in, kicking it out to the corner, and a missed 3-point shot, a defensive rebound taken there by Longville, and we'll go the other way here. First possession of the game for the Crusaders.
Well, hopefully tonight they can get off to a little bit faster start than against the Richfield. That was quite the slow start for both teams.
Yeah, you can't help but feel that if they would have gotten off to maybe an 8-point lead, which was certainly possible, they might have won that game. Both teams trading missed shots. Now here on the wing, Emmett Johnson, the leading scorer for the Stars. As Longville defending on Johnson. Stout defense here early on for the Crusaders. Holy Angels will call a play. Screen was set. They tried to burst into the lane, and we'll get the first points of the game here from Theo Doran. Pass down low along the baseline in the short corner. Now a bit of a fast break situation here. They'll pass it off to a teammate. Double team was nearly trapped along the baseline. A 3-point shot, just a little short. And we'll have our first foul of the game here on Connor Milkey.
Well, Jovanovic might have gotten away with fouling the 3-point shot. He got into the body pretty good on this one. And miscommunication there.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with that one. As the inbound was very nearly to you.
Yeah, I was going to grab it, but, you know, COVID protocols.
I respect it. Now the Crusaders back on the attack. A couple of bounce passes. Once again along the baseline, a 3-point shot and a 3-point make there is St. Croix Lutheran will take the first lead of the night.
Yeah, Bouchard, we saw him in the second half get hot against the Spartans. There's a steal by Jovanovic.
Yeah, and that was the thing in that second half. Their outside shooting was tremendous, as we'll get another 3-point shot. 2 triples here early for the home team. Johnson dribbling, looking to pass, drives in. There's some contact.
Take a look at Bouchard's first 3. Second one's pretty much identical to that.
Emmett Johnson at the line, sinks his first one. And there's a look at the second 3. Johnson a little short there on free throw number 2. Couple of quick passes. Into the corner, Longville, now back to Bouchard. Bounce pass to Longville. 3-point shot. And make that 3 for 3 on the night from beyond the arc.
The big Stars are playing a little zone. And if Crusaders keep hitting their 3-point shots, it's going to be a long night for them.
A lot of handoffs here. They'll dish it out over onto the wing. Doran was moving to the center. Now Roberts Jr. splits his way through the defense, finds Doran. And he'll get the points.
I don't know that the Crusaders have a big body to match up well with Doran.
And a miss on a close range shot there from Milky. Off balance pass, corralled, turned over to Bouchard.
Pretty impressive defense so far to start the game.
Another corner 3 just rims out. Fast break, Johnson dishes it to a teammate. Missed shot there from Holter. Lemke here to Longville. Bounce past, high post. And a missed shot there from Bouchard. Bursting up the middle, another missed shot there for the Stars. And Longville really putting on the wheels with the assist to Jovanovic.
I feel we got a timeout coming soon. Crusaders are looking great to start this off.
An early 6-point lead. Johnson tries to work his way in, flings it over to a teammate beyond the arc, and goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it was off of Longville.
There's Longville, his triple.
So we'll have Roberts Jr. going to the bench for the Stars. And Doran with 6 points here in the early going. And I think you're probably right with your previous statement about them probably not having a good matchup on Doran. It is a smaller roster.
Well, they got Milky on him now, but Milky's got 2 less inches on him, and Doran's looks like he's got good size on him as well. He's moved people right off the block.
3-point shot from Jovanovic, misses. Defensive rebound from Doran. And perhaps maybe that's where they bring in Rosh, because he would probably be the only player who would match up size-wise. Pass into the short corner, and a foul on Jovanovic. And there was Andy Rosh about to check into the game. And we await the inbound there for the Stars. As we'll get a whistle and a turnover. Longville sends it over to Bouchard as he dribbles it up the court. Pass to Amarian Miller, who checks into the game. To Rosh. Misses the shot, and now Johnson with haste on the assist to Rob Issa. Coach Hannon loving that one. Longville drives in, flings it out. Little off the mark on the three-point shot. Second chance from the short corner. 8 points already for Bouchard. Down low, Doran passes it over to a teammate who was on the ground, but gets it over to his buddy. Now in the high post. And a travel call there on Aiden Smith.
I think he might have got his pocket picked going through the lane, causing that travel.
Sneak in a quick pass there along the sidelines. Now Longville near the logo. Bit of a double team. Now driving in, another long pass. Rosh driving in. Over to the near side. Frantic pace here on this possession from both sides. We'll get a jumper good there for Owen Bouchard. Driving in along the baseline, Johnson over to Smith. Miller defending on Issa. Crusaders bench making some noise as that pass is going to get sent out of bounds. A turnover there for the Stars.
Stars been pretty sloppy with the basketball tonight.
There's a look at the jumper there from Bouchard. Still just a two-possession lead here for St. Croix Lutheran. Niche, three-point shot. And a two-possession lead no longer. Now up to 18 here midway through the first half. Oberst driving in, loses the ball. It's recovered by Issa. And eventually recovered here from the Crusaders. There's a scramble on the ground. Bounce pass. Now back outside. Longville settling down the possession along the baseline for Miller. Scramble for the ball. Rosh to Longville. And the ball taken there by Smith. Issa thinking about taking the shot. Passes it out to the wing. And we'll get a push called on the floor.
That was on Rosh.
So that is something to watch as the fouls are 4-1 against St. Croix Lutheran. Issa was driving in, and it's going to be a travel call on Issa. Niche. Pulling up back to the logo. Now in that far side corner, Smith defending. There was some space. A couple of quick passes. It'll be back to the outside. Low post. Longville driving in. Now Miller driving in. And a foul called against Holy Angels.
Game of the Week is supported by Opus Music Academy, bringing teachers and students together to create music history together through in-person or virtual lessons. More information can be found at opusmusicacademy.com. First free throw, no good for Lemke. And the second one no good, but the rebound taken from Rosh.
Miller driving in, gets off the shot, and it'll be let out of bounds there by Oberst.
A lot of point-blank layups missed for St. Croix tonight. Feel free to use the backboard, boys. Get that friendly bounce off.
Yeah, that'll definitely help them there as we'll get a timeout called on the court.
Well, Game of the Week is also supported by Therapy OPS, offering occupational, physical, and speech therapies, empowering families for success. More information can be found at therapyops.com. We'll shout out their conference championships for basketball, a little more for football.
I'd say that looks pretty good. Whole lot of numbers on there. Whole lot of numbers on the board here for St. Croix Lutheran, 18-9 lead. And like you mentioned before the timeout, still some things to clean up for the Crusaders, but you know, like you always say, it's a lot better to have to clean up some stuff when you're leading as opposed to finding yourself down by nearly double digits and having to correct some things. Both teams taking the court here as we'll return from the timeout. Emmett Johnson with the ball. Smith back to Johnson. Driving in, a pass down low for Issa. And a tie up. Niche checks out of the game. Rosh one-on-one, look to drive in, and he'll send that one off into the Holy Angels bench. Johnson directing his team. Gets that one out, a three-point shot from Boyd. And the ball taken there from Milky.
Smart move by Lemke there he just got as high as he could to out-jump him and tip it to a teammate.
Less than 7 minutes to go here in the first half. Bouchard was looking to pass. Longville defended by Smith. Rosh sets a screen. Wide open three-point shot and the make there from Austin Lemke.
Crusaders shooting 50% from the three-point line tonight.
Driving in, some heavy contact there, and looks like Lemke hit the back of his head on the court. I'll take another look at play on replay.
Oh yeah, looks like he might have hit it twice. As his arm came down, kind of forced it back into the court.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That basketball floor is completely unforgiving. There was a definite thud from his head hitting the floor. So check out of the game. So now Niche is back into the game, working his way up the court. Full court defense there from Oberst. Longville with the fancy footwork. Off to Milky. And misses the three-point shot. Johnson with the pass to Boyd. And Boyd with the bucket. Niche, the ball handler, back to Niche. Works his way down low, kept inbounds. Longville's shot, good.
Great control in the air.
Issa off there for Emmett Johnson, back to Issa. And just misses the shot. Longville with the rebound. Bouchard driving in right up the middle and puts in the two. Now a ever-expanding double-digit lead here for the Crusaders.
And Bouchard just shot out a cannon tonight. He's got more points than the Stars just by himself.
Boyd takes a bit of a tumble there, and they'll call him for a travel. He slipped on the floor. And there's a look at the last drive in from Bouchard. Milky with the handoff there to Longville. Niche along the baseline, drives into a player, top of the key, three-point shot. And the first bucket tonight from Milky.
I'm kind of amazed that the Stars keep allowing the Crusaders to get such open looks.
Yeah, pretty much every time there's been an open look, there's been a made three-pointer. Driving in, makes a player slip up, and now it's a 30-11 lead for the Crusaders. This will get a timeout called on the court.
Well, somebody got the heads up that Town Square was going to be here tonight and brought their A game.
Yeah, this is something else. This is quite the performance they're putting on.
There's a three-pointer by Milky. Well, game of the week is supported by Croix Exteriors, home improvement services for your roof, windows, sidings, and gutters. Let our experience guide you. More information can be found at croixexteriors.com. All right, I wonder if we can see another look at that Bouchard layup that caused the timeout here. Maybe a little hint to the producer.
Well, either way, I mean, this is quite the lead that they've taken. I mean, they almost have 3 times as many points as the Stars. I mean, their offense is as hot as they were in the second half of that Richfield game, but their defense is just as good as the first half. They're just putting together the complete package. As we'll take another look at this.
Second time the Stars player slipped here in about the last minute.
I had to check the bottom of his shoes on that one. Well, we'll see how the Stars respond here. Obviously, the responsibility is on them to kind of change what's going on in this game.
Yeah, Lucas Bloomquist will check into the game for the first time.
Long pass there to the far side for Holter. A couple of passes along the arc. Now Johnson driving in to Smith. Pulling back. Bouchard defending. He'll go low. Pass midair back to Johnson. Johnson to Holter. A stiff pass there to Smith. Poked away and stolen away from Connor Milky.
I mean, the defense the Crusaders are playing tonight is unreal.
Milky motions a teammate, gets it over to Longville. Longville thought about taking the shot. He will. And everything they're throwing up here tonight is just a make. That's another three-point shot for the Crusaders.
7 for 13.
It is a 33-11 affair. Off into the corner, Miller defending, bumps into a teammate.
Stars have not made a three at all. I think they have just 2 that they've attempted. Might have to start shooting some at some point. They're having trouble getting the ball, feeding it in.
Well, it's going to be pretty hard to come down back from 22 if you're not making some three-pointers. Another turnover here for the Stars.
Bryce Boyd, like, pulled a Gus Farrat and ran into the wall.
Yeah, that's the one thing about playing basketball here. In the JV game, we saw someone just crash their elbow right into the door. There's not a whole lot of space. Says we'll get a three-point make, the first of the night from the Stars.
Oh. Boyd must be okay. He hit that one just fine.
Well, you jinxed him there as he just got hit in the face.
Take another look at that. He's number
10 there at the bottom. Oh, that could have been much worse.
You can see him shake his head afterwards.
Well, thankfully he didn't pull a Gus Farrat there, because I don't think his neck would have appreciated that too much. Longville thought about taking a shot on Boyd. To the outside there for Blomqvist. Lemke to Bouchard. Bouchard driving in. Left-handed layup, batted away. Blomqvist. Just a lot of interesting passes there from the Crusaders. Guess we'll get an inbound from the home team.
Checking in now, AJ Borman for the Stars.
Down low, spinning around, contact. As Milky's gonna go to the line.
I think that's 3 for Boyd now, if that was indeed called on him.
Yeah, so Boyd slowly slipping into foul trouble. And the foul just before that caused the inbound was from Jalen Bame Peterson. And Milky makes the free throw. Now with speed, the Stars heading back the other way. They'll miss another layup. And Longville puts on the wheels. They'll get the ball over in the far side corner. Low trajectory, a missed three-point shot there from Milky. Milky defending. A little bit of contact now. Slipping past a player. He'll get the high-speed layup, and he'll miss the shot, but he'll get the foul. We'll take a look at it here on the replay. Blomqvist misses his first shot. And he'll miss the second one. Issa looking to pass, center court. Bame Peterson loses the ball as he goes in, and he'll head to the line for two.
Toe was on the line. They're going to wave that one off. And as soon as he said it, I looked down and it was clear as day.
Well, you don't see that too often.
You can see right there.
Well, usually they say football is a game of inches. But I guess it's ringing true here with basketball as he'll miss the, well, I guess first free throw he attempts, and another point-blank missed shot there for Holy Angels as Crusaders will settle the ball down.
Is it Steph Curry's fault that everybody tries to just teardrop it right into the rim now?
That has to have an impact on how some kids play.
It's like, I don't know. Nobody tries to use the backboard anymore, it seems like.
Oh, it's there for a reason. Missed three-point shot from the Crusaders. Holter was working his way in, dishes it out, and just an unlucky bounce. Rims out. Longville up the middle. Pass into the short corner. Lemke, wide open three. Yeah, that's 40 points here in the first half for St. Croix Lutheran.
Crusaders 8 for 16. They're still hanging right around that 50% mark.
That's a pretty solid percentage as they'll hurry up down the court. Longville is looking to pass. He'll just drive in. He'll get the bucket and go to the free throw line for the and one.
Tell you what, if the Crusaders were playing like they were tonight against Richfield, they would have beat them.
And we are on pace for an even bigger blowout than the De La Salle Crusaders game. It's kind of hard to believe the pace that the home team's putting on there, as we'll get a half-court shot missed there by Jaden Nish.
You're referring to the girls' game versus De La Salle? Is that correct?
No, the St. Croix Lutheran, their second game of the year, 70-28. So we'll take another look there at the highlight. So both teams heading off into their locker rooms there. It's 42-14 at halftime. Crusaders over the Stars here on Town Square Television's Game of the Week.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother ya?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Town Square Television's Game of the Week here as we get set for the start of the second half. At halftime, it was a 42-14 lead for the Crusaders over the Stars. I'm Owen Ely here with Jesse Stang as we'll take a look at some of the highlights here from the first half.
A little rapid-fire action from all the threes that St. Croix made that half. 8 made threes. Oh, you just speechless there?
I'm speechless that it's nothing but net. I mean, they're making them so cleanly. I mean, I know you're happy about the lack of utilization of a backboard, but I mean, almost all of these shots are just going in clean.
Yeah, you're allowed not to use the backboard on a three.
Oh, they don't have to use anything. And there's the leading scorers for both sides. Bouchard with more points than Holy Angels had as a team in the first half.
Well, and when the Stars were coming off at the end of halftime, I heard one of their assistant coach say to one of the other players, "And catch the full sentence, but I caught 16 turnovers." So that will do it.
Yeah. Well, it's tough to be in a game if you're turning over the ball 16 times, and you know, maybe if they can correct some of the missed shots at point-blank range, you know, the score would be a little bit closer, but it's going to be really tough to beat the Crusaders when they're playing this well.
I would guess that it's not going to continue for the Crusaders like it has. I don't know they'll drop off and have the half that they did against Richfield, but the Stars, they got to do something.
Well, that would be impressive if they could keep that up. I mean, an 84-28 victory would look pretty good as the first points of the second half come there from Bryce Boyd. He's got 7 points on the night. Crusaders here on their first offensive possession. Jovanovic up the middle. And they're going to call a travel on Jovanovic.
That was milky there, but yeah, he shuffled his feet. Looks like he didn't catch the ball cleanly.
He definitely tried to thread the needle there on the pass. Johnson in and out. Now back to Johnson at the top of the key. Roberts Jr. to Johnson. Doran circling around in the post. Boyd loses the ball, recovers it in front of his own bench. Milky and Longville were double teaming Doran down low. Just an impenetrable defense here so far for St. Croix Lutheran. Very high three-point shot, no good. Jovanovic, bounce pass. Near the elbow. Now driving in. They'll pump up that shot. A rebound taken there by Theo Doran.
Doran's gone quiet. Maybe start trying to work the ball back down low into him.
Stars cycling the ball around the perimeter. Now in the short corner, a high pass there for Doran, outside for Holter.
And to be completely honest, I think the Crusaders would be just fine with these long possessions for the Stars.
Yeah, especially when they result in missed three-point shots.
I mean, if each possession was 45 seconds to a minute, the Stars couldn't even get back in this game. We wouldn't have enough possessions.
So I think we had a foul called there on Bouchaw as play continues on. They'll dish it off into the corner for Boyd. And a three-point shot for Boyd.
He's up to 10 now.
And there's the made three-pointer from Boyd.
Maybe it's that hoop that's lucky on the three-pointers.
You know, if it's a 42-14 run the other way, I'll be pretty convinced. And a turnover here for St. Croix Lutheran. Coach Hannon giving out some orders there to his players. Roberts Jr. puts up the off-balance shot and somehow finds its way in there.
Yep, must be that hoop down at that end.
Well, I'm starting to become a believer.
It's got like a larger rim on it.
And then maybe the rim over here is just like one of those double rims they have at like parks where you never can make the shot.
Or maybe the fair where it's like an oval size. Good steal by the Stars.
Boyd gets the spacing and gets the lucky bounce.
Boyd over his average on the night just within the last few minutes.
Milky was driving in and turned the ball over. It might have been a travel Well, 9 points in the first handful of minutes here for Holy Angels.
0 for St. Croix.
And they'll lose the ball. They might get some here. Longville. A little bit of a stiff arm there.
He's lucky that that's not called.
I don't think you can channel your inner Sean Alexander. A lot of passes. They'll find the open man. And missed the three-point shot there from Austin Lemke. Holter to Boyd.
Heat check.
And he wants a foul there. He can't believe it. Air ball is the three-point shot.
I saw him go down. I didn't see if Lemke actually got into his arm. He's still kind of chirping about that missed call.
Yeah, I didn't get the best of looks at it. Either way, the Crusaders trying to end the scoreless drought in the second half. They'll swing it over to their teammate, and he'll be fouled. Emmett Johnson's going to go to the line.
Well, it looked like the way Bouchard was looking on the floor that he wanted to call him that steal.
And there's the foul on Longville.
Bouchard's talking to the ref right now. Emmett Johnson, just his second point.
Coach Hannon's talking with the refs about something.
No, he got called for another foot on the line. They wiped that one off.
Oh, wow. Missed that one. Three-point response there from Milky. First points of the second half. Another foul here on St. Croix Lutheran. That's going to be on Milky, his third. Milky and Jovanovic checking out of the game.
5 different Crusaders have hit it 3 tonight so far.
Look at the inbound there to Boyd. Lemke defending on Roberts Jr. Puts up the runner. And it's going to be hugged there from Niche. Pulls it up the court.
Niche pushes off a lot too. I saw it in the first half. You can kind of get away with it from the elbow to the shoulder, but start pushing off with your hand and forearm.
Well, especially when the player goes flying, like we saw on the earlier one. Three-point make there from Cameron Holter, and you know, they're still down by 19, but this second half just has a completely different feel. Niche to Lemke to Bouchard in the corner, thought about taking a shot. Boyd was defending, back to the key, off to the wing. Longville working his way in on Johnson. Left-handed floater good. Niche tried to pick his pocket. Johnson's shot, no good. Keeps it in bounds. Holter just misses that floater. Double team along the baseline. Rosh is not too thrilled about that one. Long pass to Longville, up the middle. Takes a tumble. And now a fast break the other way. Johnson tries to hold on to the ball, and they're going to say it's actually staying with the Stars.
Great hustle by Lemke to get down there.
We'll see what happens here.
That's a good call.
Looks like we'll have a timeout on the court.
Game of the Week is supported by Croix Exteriors, home improvement services for your roof, windows, sidings, and gutters. Let our experience guide you. More information can be found at croixexteriors.com.
So here's a look at the last Longville bucket. Kind of stopped the bleeding there for a second for the Crusaders. When you talk about the great defensive effort there on that play from Lemke, I mean, how about the toughness for, you know, getting cracked on the noggin and still playing?
I'm surprised they didn't make him do any concussion protocol or anything.
I mean, it sounded really loud. Well, luckily for the Crusaders, 21-point lead. Although in sort of typical fashion, I mean, they find themselves here with 5 fouls to only 1 for the Stars, so that might be something to watch for, although no player is really in foul trouble except for maybe Milky with 3 is a little interesting. So we await the inbound here from Johnson. Just absolutely heaves that one to Boyd. Some more orders here from Coach Hannon. Roberts Jr. there was working on Lemke, and we will have a call there against Rosh. Again, Johnson, the ball handler at the logo. Works his way to the outside. Now along the baseline, a bounce pass. Roberts Jr. driving in, spinning around. Puts up the shot, and that one just spins in around the globe.
Yeah, it looked like Lemke got him on the back of the head, too. Probably should have been an and one.
Crusaders getting a little bit lucky with some of these non-foul calls. And they'll just swarm Lemke. Roberts Jr. with the easy layup. And a foul call. I believe that's going to go against the home team.
He went down pretty easy. That looked kind of like a flop live. But
Coach Cook and Coach Hannon showing a lot of enthusiasm in different ways, responding to that one. Well, we'll see it here at the top of the screen.
that looked like a dive.
I mean, if that Stars player wasn't there, it would just look like he was driving it up the court. It really didn't look like, I guess there technically was contact because he fell, but even then, not really.
Well, he wasn't even leaning into him. He was standing straight up and down.
Just dribbling it up the court. Because we do see that sometimes when you're along the sidelines, like you'll dribble in and maybe lower your shoulder a little bit so you don't get pushed out, but he was just literally just dribbling it up the court. So either way, it's going to be Stars possession. Boyd, contact. And he's going to go to the line.
Well, to be fair, it looked like Milky was trying to sell that one, too.
I think somebody got teed up.
Yep.
Stars bench is loving that one. That's 8 fouls in the second half. So now 9 fouls with the T, and now Milky has 5. Stars in the bonus as we'll take another look at the replay.
He was still moving. Can't tell there if he was trying to sell it a little bit more, but
first one missed there from Bryce Boyd.
Well, two quick fouls and Milky's night's over. First one good for Holter.
It's his first point of the night. Second one no good. And now it gets a little interesting because there still is 10 minutes to go. 16-point lead is sizable, but definitely not exactly safe. See how the Crusaders can respond here. Roberts Jr. missed three-point shot. The rebound taken there from Longville. Longville, two-handed pass over into the corner for Jovanovic. At the Crusader logo. Jovanovic to Rosh, who thought about taking that three-point shot. Takes a jumper, misses it, loses out on the offensive rebound there to Doran. Holter to Johnson, top of the key. And turns that one over. Longville contemplating what to do, drives in, misses the shot. And Bouchard there to save the possession.
We should maybe try to run off about a minute or two, but shooting a quick three will work as well.
Well, I know that's your favorite strategy when you have a lead to have 4-second possessions.
Well, just it's more so with what the Stars have been able to do so far during this half.
Double team on Doran. Holter, three-point shot.
Because right now, when the St. Croix has only scored 5 points, and the Stars have scored 17 this half.
So it looks like they got Lemke.
That was a weak call. Certainly did not see a push off on Lemke. Maybe the referees are wearing their masks over their eyes instead of their face.
Ooh. A distinct possibility, but
haven't been the most consistent crew tonight.
Well, there's definitely been a handful of missed calls and a handful of calls that probably shouldn't have happened, but seems like it's relatively even, although the fouls in this half are certainly not even. It's 10-1.
You don't see that much. 10-1.
They're just cycling the ball here. Taking their time, just north of 8 minutes to go. Longville with the burst.
He's having flashbacks of running through the football line. A lot of contact on that drive.
Yeah, so the second foul of the second half for the Stars, and a three-point make there for Longville. That's gonna certainly helped the Crusaders. Back to a 17-point game. Roberts Jr. cross-court pass. Roberts Jr. a long two-point jumper. At center court, Longville. Find themselves there on the far side of the court. Not forcing anything here.
This is where you'd like to see the shot clock get instituted into high school basketball.
But yeah, do you have any idea why they don't do that? Is it just because a lot of facilities don't have the shot clock?
Yeah, I would assume that's the biggest part is the cost, but that'd be one tax I'd be behind raising.
Well, it definitely would make high school basketball different.
Well, and it's, you know, what, NBA's, what, 25?
24?
24, college is 30, 35?
Something like that, yeah, like 30.
30? Come on. Well, it wouldn't have to be anywhere near NBA or college. Somewhere in like the 45, 55 seconds, right?
I think that's fair. I think that's as long as a possession should take. I think any more than that, you know, I don't know, might just be stalling. Well, and because your time here at Town Square, haven't you seen some of those games where, you know, they'll hold the ball and just pass it around for a handful of minutes?
Well, considering that we're here at St. Croix, Coach Melke attempted that in one of the section finals against Minnehaha Academy. And I think it went about 4.5 minutes where the girl was just holding the ball out at midcourt and Minnehaha refused to come out and guard her.
Did they end up winning the game?
St. Croix?
Yeah.
No. I don't think Coach Melke's beat Minnehaha yet in the sections, but the crowd was not, they were not having it that night.
No, I could see why.
And the poor girl that was, I think it was Jasmine Solseth, was holding the ball out at half court, and everybody started booing and yelling, and I think the pressure got to her.
Man, I don't want to see that because it wouldn't be fun, but I kind of do want to see that happen in one of these games at one point, just to say I've seen it.
I don't know. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, I figured that much.
I think the broadcast might have gotten edited that night because of me as well.
Oh, no. You didn't have nice things to say?
Allegedly.
Oh, fair enough. Well, there's no proof anymore, so. Well, less than 6 minutes to go here. And we'll get a layup from Aiden Smith. And a timeout called on the court.
Game of the Week is supported by Therapy OPS, offering occupational, physical, and speech therapies, empowering families for success. More information can be found at therapyops.com. Take a quick look at the section here. Both teams in the same section. With kind of the muddled middle there in the bottom half. Win tonight would have been good for the Stars. I suppose they still have an opportunity to, but Geez, South St. Paul 7-0. Speaking of South St. Paul, mark your calendars. We're going to try to pick up a game coming up, and then it will be South St. Paul against St. Croix Lutheran here on March 3rd.
Wow, that'll be a fun one. Now, what are they? They're like, I think they're like number 6 or number 7 in the state at this point.
That's rare territory for South St. Paul basketball.
Five and a half to go here. Longville, the ball handler. Back to the freshman niche. Standing at the wing, over to the top of the key there for Rosh. Looking at all of his options.
This is really about all the Stars can do unless they want to start fouling.
If the Crusaders limit the possession, not a whole lot they can do. They'll miss a shot there, but they'll recover the ball.
Okay, Rosh might have been trying to dunk that. We've seen some pretty solid dunks in this gym over the years, Owen. Ade Murke, Trenton Krieger.
Well, we'll see what he's trying to do here. Yeah, he definitely touched the rim. I think he might have been trying to slam that one. Well, I would love nothing more than to see a slam dunk on this side of the court. Boyd defending on Rosh. Hand off to Niche. Pulling back to half court. Whole lot of movement here from all of these Crusaders players. They continue to hold on to the possession. Rosh had an open three-point. Smith and Holton trying to take the ball away, and looks like we'll have a foul call there on Aiden Smith. So we'll get another inbound here for St. Croix Lutheran. Once again, Smith defending, this time on Longville. Tries to burst his way through, and another foul there on Smith.
He's quickly has 4 now.
Longville making the first.
He's up to 14. I think Busha has scored this half.
No, you're right. Yeah, 16 in the first half. So we'll go 2 for 2 at the line. Johnson calling a play. Puts up a wild shot there. The rebound taken from Rosh. Weaving his way through the court there is Lemke. Tried to pick the pocket there of Longville. Bouchard pulling back before driving in. And another foul there on Smith. It's going to be 5.
Team of the Week is supported by Opus Music Academy, bringing teachers and students together to create music history together through in-person or virtual lessons. More information can be found at opusmusicacademy.com. Thanks to all of our supporters this winter season, the game of the week. First one's good for Bouchard. Outside shot at hitting 20 tonight.
The second one falls in.
Those last 4 free throws, they'll probably seal the game for St. Croix.
I'll try to get the pass down low there for Boyd, and another recovery there from Rosh. Longville driving in, driving out. And we'll get a foul there on Stars. Sounded like Coach Hannon was calling for a foul. And with that, Bouchard has reached 20 points. Johnson with the handoff here to Issa. Three-point shot, three-point miss there for Joe Oberst.
A little strong, but had the right idea. Enough time to get back into this with 2-pointers.
Yeah, might not have enough time with lengthy possessions here from the Crusaders. Now Longville up the middle, plenty of space, and gets the right-handed layup in.
3-pointers and turnovers, pretty much the story of this game.
Well, speaking of a turnover, there's another one for the Stars.
I had them at just 3 for 12 on the night from downtown.
Yikes.
Meanwhile, St. Croix 10 for 21.
So we'll have another foul here on the Stars. Niche to the line. We'll have the sophomore A.J. Borman checking into the game for Holy Angels.
Even with a 23-point lead, Crusaders opting not to go very deep on their bench.
Boyd taking an awkward tumble there. Yet another turnover. It was, what was it, 16 in the first half, and I would have to imagine that they've probably kept that pace here in the second.
For what?
For turnovers?
I'd say down a little, but still a lot.
First one good for Bouchard.
And Will Hillstrom will check in for the first time, the 6'7" junior. Towering over Rosh. I'm questioning now Rosh's 6'5" listing. Blomqvist has checked in, and then now Miller.
So just 90 seconds to go here before the end of regulation. Bame Peterson, wild shot, rebound taken there from Miller. Longville to Miller, and an intentional foul there from Bame Peterson.
Could probably call off the Dogs.
Yeah.
I think Miller got away with having his foot over the line on that one.
And we'll have a whole bunch of new players here for the Crusaders checking into the game.
Oh yeah, his toe's way over the line.
Well, lucky they didn't see that one. That one tipped, bouncing off the backboard. Miller dribbling it up the court.
How is that a thing at varsity basketball where your foot is on the free throw line?
I have no idea.
Kyle Calignon has checked in for the Crusaders, getting his first playing time of the night.
Now in there for Ham. And that ball getting sent off into the stands. Oberst with the handoff there to Bame Peterson. Working his way around there for Borman. It's tipped.
Sam Haim got a hand on that. And then also C. Garwash is in, so Crusaders with their second line in.
Looking to get the younger players some playing time, which we don't normally see. I guess that's going to ruin the stat of them usually only playing, what, eight players, sometimes 9. Garish, three-point shot. Bouncing out, Bame Peterson with the rebound, up to Issa. And with that, that's going to be the end of the game. So it's going to be a 62-36 win for the Crusaders over the Stars.
Yep, just Crusaders were on fire just in too many aspects of the game. Basically, then with the Bouchard getting shot out of the cannon, they didn't really look back once.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, turnovers and three-pointers is basically the storyline of this one.
Well, yeah, it was good that Stars made adjustments at halftime. They came out, made it interesting for a bit. They went on it was like 5-17 run. But in the end, just not enough to hold them off.
So with that, we'll look to wrap it up here from West St. Paul. Dominant victory for the Crusaders. Special thanks to Owen Ely, Jesse Stanga, Toby Stanga, Hunter Pinky, Tom Ritchie, Ashley Bowes, Wesley Pop, Alexis Pearson, and Trevor Blom. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This has been Town Square Television's Game of the Week.